everybody. I know it's morning in Argentina, afternoon in Croatia, Germany or Poland, and evening in India or Indonesia. So I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you here. My name's Joanna Zielińska, and I come from Poland. And as you know, I am GTC's debate club coordinator. And it's really a big pleasure for me to welcome you all here today. It's our second debate meeting, and the topic of this debate is extreme consumerism is affecting the world in a negative way. Let me start first with presenting the judges that were so kind to join us. So before I let you say a few words about yourself, I just want to say that I am really grateful that you have accepted my invitation and you are here with us. So our judges today are Bahna, Katerina, and Vincent. Bahna from India, Katerina from Croatia, and Vincent from Germany. So Bahna, could I ask you to go first and say a few words about yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm Bhavna Matthew from India. I've been teaching and mentoring primary learners for past 19 years. I'm a service coordinator at Pathways. I'm truly passionate about sustainable development goals, and I have been facilitating global projects. I'm a Teach SDG ambassador and a global school advocate. I am a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert, and I have many laurels related to digital literacy. I'm ST community leader. I'm so grateful that I'm here and I will be hearing you out, your wonderful thoughts. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us here. Katarina, could I ask you now?
Yes, good afternoon from Croatia. My name is Katarina. I teach English and German in a primary school in Osijek, Croatia. And it's really an honor and privilege to be invited to be one of the judges today. And I wish you all good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. And Vincent?
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon from Germany. My name is Vincent Kramer. I'm a high school teacher for history and English. I live in Hamburg and I work in Lower Saxony at a rural school. And I'm very honored and very thankful to be here to be the judge today. And I think this is a very great opportunity for all the students who join this. And I'm very excited to hear the debate.
Okay, thank you very much, all three of you, for joining us and doing the job for our teachers and students in the group. So the debaters today are from Argentina and Indonesia. So the debating team and the teachers are from these two countries. And could I ask the teachers, Marcela from Argentina and Antti from Indonesia, to introduce yourself and your students, please? Yes, Marcela, would you like to go first?
Yes, hello. My name, yes, sorry. We are having a problem here with the computers, that's why. Hello, my name is Marcela Villan. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I teach adolescent students, high school here, 15 to 18-year-olds. Also passionate for teaching about the SDGs and creating global projects and making my students connect with the whole world in these kind of experiences, which I am sure are going to leave a big mark on them. So we are really pleased, very pleased to be here with you all and ready to be part of this wonderful debate.
Thank you very much. Antti, your turn, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Joanna, as our coordinators for the debate today. And then let me introduce myself. My name is Nuriyanti Ajija. You can call me Antti. I'm from Balikpapan, Indonesia. Our school's name is SMA Nasional KPS. It's located in Balikpapan. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, but if you want, as we are part of the debate, I can mention that our school is called Modern School. At this moment, we are at school because it's early morning here in Argentina. We are in the computing room, and it's located in Buenos Aires, Argentina, just in the capital city.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh. Okay, so let us begin with a quick reminder of the debate rules. So I will share some slides with you so that everybody knows what's going on. And Auntie, is it possible for me to share the screen, please? Yeah, I can do it. Okay. So could you just tell me, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Just a sec, I need to close the windows that are not necessary here. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, so just a quick reminder of what the debate should look like. So as I've already mentioned, the topic is extreme consumerism is affecting the world in a negative way. There are two teams debating. Today, the affirmative team is from Argentina and the negative team is from Indonesia. The first speaker, affirmative, defines the keywords of the topic, introduces team's argument, and begins the debate. The first speaker, negative, defines the keywords of the topic, introduces the team's argument, rebuts the points made by the first speaker of the team, of the opposite team, affirmative team. The second and the third speakers, affirmative, continue with the team's arguments and rebut the opposition. The second and third speakers, negative, continue with the team's arguments, rebut the opposition. And the last round, one speaker from each team summarizes the team's arguments. They are the last speakers to address the audience in the debate and have the last word. So I hope it is clear for everybody. And let's begin our debate. So one more time, the topic is extreme consumerism is affecting the world in a negative way. So could I ask the first speaker negative, the first speaker affirmative, sorry, to begin, to start the debate. The first speaker affirmative.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you. And one
Nice to
more
meet you.
remark, sorry, I have forgotten to say you have up to 5 minutes, okay? Each speaker has up to 5 minutes to present your arguments. Okay, so let's begin. The first speaker of the affirmative team, please.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Francisco Cabero. I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina. We are all from a school, a modern school that is a bilingual school here in Lanús City, Buenos Aires. And it is a big pleasure for us to be connecting with you here, debating on a very important topic such as this one. Well, this topic that brings us here is the extreme consumerism that is affecting the world in a negative way, and we are absolutely agree with this topic. To begin with, we want to mark the difference between consumerism and consumption, because although they seem similar, they are not. Consumerism is the theory in which individuals who consume goods and services in large quantities will be better off. Those goods and services they get are not essential, yes, but they buy them because they need to or they have the money to do so. On the other hand, consuming can be defined in different ways, but the better definition is that consuming is the final buying of services and goods for individuals. The purchase of a new pair of shoes, a hamburger at fast food restaurants or services, or like getting your house clean, are all examples of consumption. I am a bit nervous, sorry. That is to say that that consumption is not extremely in extremely quantities, but consumerism is. So this term is related with the increase of population also, because in the middle of the last century, there were 2 billion people, and it has gone up dramatically, raising the almost 8 billion people that we are nowadays at the world. This make a lot of problems for our world. Just imagine that half of the population start buying things in extreme quantities, and you can get an imagine of why I'm talking about. So in today's world, capitalism and consumerism go hand in hand. And consumerism is a bit confused with capitalism, but the latter is a economic system, and consumerism is more a cultural attitude. So in capitalist society, consumerism becomes excessive when it extends beyond what is needed. When we begin consuming more than it's necessary, boundaries are removed. So personal credits allowed us to make purchases beyond our income level. People tend to have more and more. So the negative effects of consumerism also include the depletion of natural resources and the pollution of the earth. The way that consumer society is working is not sustainable. So we are currently overusing the earth's natural resources. In the year 2015, the United Nations created the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that are these goals are an emergent call for action by all the countries, developed and developing. And one of these goals, the Sustainable Development Goals 12, yes, is just about responsible consumption and production. That which emphasizes the need to ensure the sustainable production and the consumption patterns. So it's time to realize that excessive consumption is not delivering on its promise to provide happiness, because consumption is necessary, but the excessive consumption is not. So life can be better lived and more enjoyed by international rejecting it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So could I ask the first speaker of the negative team, please? Could you start now?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nayara. Okay.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay. Let me restate tonight's topic that extreme consumerism is affecting the world in a negative way. Once again, extreme consumerism is affecting the world in a negative way. Sounds absolutely wrong to me and the world. So I, the first speaker, will explain why extreme consumerism benefits us. Following that, the second speaker will expand my argument by providing points to aid it and also rebut the arguments and statement of the opposing teams. Finally, the third speaker will end the argument by giving accurate proof to our validity and finish everything off with a conclusion and summary. If you focus not only on yourself but on others, you will realize that in reality, consumption is urgently needed and has many benefits and a positive side to the world and its life, including your lives. Extreme consumerism is a social and economic order and ideology that encourages the acquisition of goods and services in ever-increasing amounts. In economy is basically how money flows, and the economy is fueled by consumerism and debt. It needs people to keep on consuming to keep the debts low. Consumerism keeps lowering the amount of debt in the economy, which created low living prices. A country should have more money than debt, or else the country will be in a bad shape, whether it be a higher interest rate on debt or the loss of trust of the global trade for the said country. And to keep the debts low, we must continue to consume. The large population will boost production. Consumption from the population can create demand. In turn, increased consumption enables productive enterprises to flourish, so as the economic in general. If economy does well, they'll most likely want to expand. Expansions mean innovations, creativity, and the funds to support their new goals. Their new goals are definitely benefits us. Why? because as technology grows, they will seek to provide more efficient goods or services to us as consumers. Companies compete with each other for customers in capitalist societies. Consumerism creates a marketplace of multiple choices, enabling you to look for the best prices for similar products. This is, of course, very impressive for low-class consumers who can't afford to buy expensive stuff. Also, consumerism should be at the tip of the innovation after creative ideas work out and processed into an actual product they can buy. But more and more consumers are taking a flowered graph of innovation and turning it into with surprising results. Isn't that awesome, everyone? Consumerism can increase our brain to be more creativity and innovation. Imagine there is no consumerism in the world. We will certainly not be able to live as comfortably as we are now. Some of you may think that creativity and innovation are not essential to life, but the truth is nowadays, many companies try to hire creative talent through puzzles and brain teasers with the assumption that they are acquiring crucial innovative capacity. This means with consumerism will reduce unemployment because there are many open jobs, even for self-employment enterprise. Reduced unemployment will also have a positive effect on deteriorating mental health. Studies have shown that the long-term effects of unemployment can lead to stress and depression. Even this condition can lead to death. Rather, is it a result of appearance of physical elements such as heart attacks, or worse, desire to commit suicide? So what I'm trying to say is, if there is no consumerism in the world, then it will affect many aspects of our life that will eventually lead to either painful suffering or worse, death. Thank you so much for the listening, and now I'll pass it on to the positives.
Okay, thank you very much. So now the second speaker of the affirmative team, please present what you've prepared.
Hi, I am Tobias Lopardo. I joined this talk to have new experience and also to exchange my point of view with you and with other countries. Well, you go for the economic side, but we go for the environment side. Well, going back to the point that extreme consumerism is affecting the world is the sense that exhausts the earth of its resource. I want to focus on what is happening in connection with a very important issue, which is the production and consumption in stream of quantities of meat. Although meat means an important sources of nutrients, and it's also evident that a great consumption of it gives proteins and also nutrients, has an also a negative environment impact. Livestock production does not only have negative influence emissions, but also have water footprints, water pollution, water scarcity. Because of this big amount of water, what is necessary in production in this production cycle. Let's not forget that to be able to raise animals, a lot of faith is needed. So deforestation is a big issue, taking into consideration the fact unless trees in the world means less carbon dioxide being absorbed. Unfortunately, this will lead to more global warming, the most important issue affecting our atmospheres nowadays. With respect in human health, in 2050, the International Agency for Research of Cancer state that the red meat has probably concrete of humans, with consumption of processed meats, carbonation to humans. This means that not only does meat brings problem to the environment, but also humanity as a whole. In the 2021, Argentina researched that almost 90 kilos of kinds of meat are consumed per capita, making Argentina one of the 5 countries that consume more meat. Impressive consideration that USA leads the ranking with hoping 330 million people, and Argentina has 47 millions of people. But leaving this question of misconsumption aside, which is a big issue in Argentina and most of Latin America in particular, let's go into the issue of consumerism in general. From the 20th century, with the invention of shopping malls, consumerism became increasingly popular among both business and consumers. As also people moved from agricultural areas to large cities, they had less connection to their new environment community. To build new connections and gain new evidently. They acquire goods, especially through having advertised to the various of ways. Today, advertising is a very much blamed for the question of consumption. We are all to buy and buy because we are constantly bombarded in television and social media with lots announcements and publicity that we not need.
Okay, thank you very much. So now the second speaker of the negative team, please go ahead.
Right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Arian Alexander Rinaldi, second speaker of the negative team, and today I'll be talking about how and why consumerism, and by extension capitalism, is beneficial to us and our mental health. If I may restate the notion, which is that extreme consumerism is affecting the world negatively, we of the negative team will be pointing out why that isn't the case. First off, what is consumerism really? Some might fearmonger by pushing arguments that consumerism is an inherently negative phenomena, that it destroys the environment and smashes it to little tiny bits and gubbins. I say that those people are at best mistaken and merely repeating incorrect statements, or are actively trying to sow fear and discord among the populace. Consumerism is an inherently negative phenomena, as it is merely the consumption of products generated as a part of economic processes. Therefore, to call this phenomena as morally right or wrong is utterly and completely out of left field. An inherent nature of sociology is to view phenomena in a strictly non-ethical light. That means to view it in a completely objective standpoint and not viewing it whether it's morally right or not. As we know, morals are completely subjective. One person's virtuous deeds may be seen as depraved debauchery by someone else. Therefore, who are you trying to assign your own morals to a concept of sociology meant to be viewed in neither a negative nor positive stance? The non-ethical viewpoint also states that instead of viewing phenomena through a negative or positive light, we should instead focus on it using a lens of how beneficial it is to us. Therefore, let me continue on how consumerism and capitalism is good for you. Beginning with consumerism's beneficial effects on people's mental state, I'd like to start by offering a hypothetical. Say you've been bogged down by, I don't know, today's math test about trigonometry, and you just want to forget about it. Therefore, how would you go about doing that? Some of you might already be thinking on indulging yourselves on things you like say impulse buying on your favorite online storefront. And that, listener, is one of the many benefits of consumerism on the human mental state. How does it work? By buying something, you give yourself something known as instant gratification. Instant gratification was first coined by psychologist Sigmund Freud, often regarded as one of the most important figures in modern-day psychology. Freud describes instant gratification as the human desire to seek out pleasure. In his book, Affective Neuroscience, The Foundations of Human and Animal Emotions, neuroscientist Jacques Parsep also agrees with this. Parsep argues that of all 7 core instincts in the human brain, the natural desire to seek, which is connected to both reward and pleasure, is the most important. This impulse buying is also known as retail therapy. But is there proof on people participating in retail therapy to improve their mental health? A study conducted by ebates.com states that more than 51.8% of Americans shop and spend money to improve their mood. From this 51.8%, 39.8% are men, while 63.9% are women. From this, we can gather that the instant gratification that consumerism provides is an important part to its overall benefits to its proponents. But what about other benefits to your mental health, I hear you thinking? Consumerism benefits technological growth as well. Say your grandparent is sick in the hospital, but due to the wonders of modern medicine, they get better and you feel a lot more relief from that. The growth of modern medicine wouldn't have happened without consumerism and capitalism driving together technological growth, the health district. Some might say that consumerism drives people away from the things that really make you happy, like spending time with friends and family. But to that, I say otherwise. Because think about it. Say you are a proponent of the adage that money is the root of all evil. Therefore, according to your viewpoint, the people living in squalor are much more happier than the people living in mansions and the like. Do you think that poor people are happier? They need to live paycheck to paycheck, unable to spend for more than basic utilities. Even then, some might have to take loans. They worry about their livelihood every day as the shadow of unpaid bills and negative bank accounts looms over them like the boogeyman of old. Do you think that that is a happier life than the one where you have enough money to spend on your indulgences? Currently, you might still think so, but you're looking at it from a much more privileged angle. Since you haven't experienced this for yourself, your viewpoint is skewed, viewed from rosy lenses, and you're unable to comprehend that the ones you call happier are living in fear for all their lives. And that is what would happen if you destroy all of capitalism and consumerism without thinking about it first. Your viewpoint that consumerism is bad has blinded you to the nuances, the positive side, the benefits of capitalism that would be swept away once you swing that banhammer. And what will you do then, as you starve on ever colder streets? Will you regret your actions once it's too late? In summary, the subject of consumerism and
Sorry, I
capitalism.
need to stop you. 5 minutes. Gone.
All right.
Okay.
That's all
Thank you
for
very
me. Good night.
much. Thank you very much. So now the first speaker of the affirmative team. Could I ask you to begin?
Hello, everyone. I am Valentina Argilo. I am from Buenos, Argentina, and I am honored to be here sharing this debate with all of you. Well, to continue to support the statement of this debate, the affirmative side wants to focus on another issue that should be considered consumerism instead of consumption, that is the energy issue. We tend to use energy deliberately without measuring what we need and what we don't need. Taking into consideration the fact that our main source of energy are fossil fuels, this creates a complete disaster for our environment, producing excessive carbon dioxide emissions in great quantities, leading to global warming all the way. Extreme consumerism also creates a demand that enterprises respond by increasing the production in factories, which hurt the environment because of the amount of these fossil fuels that are needed for this. In this capitalist society, one of the most demanding industry is the fashion industry. Clothes are made of two materials. The first one is polyester, which is a synthetic fiber that comes from, especially from petroleum, that again is extracted in a non-environmental friendly way and helps and accelerates the global warming effect. The other material is cotton. Cotton, to produce just 1 kilo of cotton, which is the exact amount we need to make a pair of trousers, for example, it requires about 7,000 to 10,000 liters, and that's about 10 years worth of drinking water for just one person. So you are risking 10 years worth of drinking water, of potable water, for just a pair of trousers. So taking this into account, extreme consumerism makes us want to buy more pieces of clothes just for the sake of having more diversity in our wardrobe. So on average, 9 out of 10 people uses only one piece of clothes, just only 10 times or less, and that piece will end up on the trash. So as an alternative for all of this, the affirmative side came with a circular economy process. A circular economy is a model of production and consumption which involves sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, rebrushing, and recycling existing materials and products as long as possible. Applied to the fashion industry here in Argentina and in the world also, mainly in the USA, lately started to become more popular kinds of thrift stores, which are stores where local people can bring their own clothes that do not fit them anymore or they don't want to use again, and that gives the opportunity for others to get to purchase cheaper clothes in good conditions. And of course, these stores help those clothes to get into the circular economy so it does not end up in the trash as waste. Also, as you say, you are focusing on money, which we don't think is the solution. At the end of the day, environment is what makes us live, not money. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. So now the third speaker of the negative team. Please continue.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nakabian, and today I'll be expanding upon the arguments and doing the conclusion. Consumerism is often looked down upon in society. People keep saying that consumerism is destroying the world, but they don't realize the consequences of removing consumerism. As my teammate said, consumerism drives economic growth, it provides jobs, higher wages, and increased production levels. Heck, it even boosts creativity and innovation. But without consumerism, all this economic growth will go down the drain. Doing this would lead to a massive economic downfall similar, if not worse, than the Great Depression of 1929. Let's say, hypothetically, the world decided to get rid of consumerism as we know it. Removing consumerism would make people lose interest in various companies, causing the stock to fall. It also increases debt and forcing companies to slow down on production, making people lose jobs, which causes homelessness to rise. Why does this matter? Many countries give help to the homeless using tax money, but due to the rise in homelessness, tax will rise. Now, to back this claim, the United States in 2021 has spent over $51 billion that we know of to homeless programs. It's easy to believe that if we do remove consumerism, this will impact taxes by a significant amount, at the very least, hurting the citizens even more. Now, slowing down on production means fewer products. And with fewer products, this results in prices getting raised on various things. People will be poorer and thus causing crime to rise. According to the United Nations Drugs and Crime Department, crime will rise in economic crises. Robberies will be more common, and people who do get robbed will suffer for it even more. Inflation, due to the struggling economy, will happen, and countries will print money, reducing the faith citizens have on the currency, and also reducing the interest of fiat money, causing the prices to rise again. Now, if a big country like the United States decides to stop consumerism, it'll ruin the global supply chain, messing up the world in more ways than one. Ruining its supply chain has devastating consequences, such as economic disruption and key commodity shortages. I said before that products will be rare. But why? Well, if consumerism is gone, the countries that produce things the most, let's say China, will reduce the amount they're producing. This will cause a domino effect that will affect the supply chain and the economy with it. If China reduces what they produce, they'll obviously buy less materials and need less energy. Countries that export these materials will decide to slow down on the mining of the materials, which makes them more expensive instead of cheaper. That will reduce the income for the countries that export these type of materials, such as Brazil, Australia, and lots more countries, causing these countries to suffer terrible recessions, and countries that need these materials will be unable to fill their needs and also suffer economic problems, which then in turn can in fact drive aggressive national behavior, international instability, and lots more problems. Removing consumerism is already difficult, but the results are not worth it either. We can see problems that are almost guaranteed to happen, and there are a lot more problems that arise from removing consumerism. The point is, consumerism is often viewed as an inherently negative thing. Due to this, everyone forgets to see the benefits of consumerism, and not to mention the dastardly effects that happen if we remove it. Now, the previous debater said something about, oh, we only look at consumerism at a more positive outlook. We don't see the effects it has on the world. But I don't think consumerism is to blame for the effects it has on the environment. I think technological advancements are the actual problem. With technology advancing, we wouldn't actually, if technology didn't advance to this point, we wouldn't actually have this problem. We would not actually have this problem to begin with. For the sake of the argument, let's look to transportation. Mankind used to walk from point A to point B by walking, but walking is slow and tiring, so they decided that it was a great idea to create cars and vehicles alike, going way faster than humans can possibly achieve without much effort. But cars take a lot of resources. How much exactly? An average car has about 30,000 parts. That is a lot. And how many cars are there in the world? About 1.446 billion cars. That is not a small number, all of them containing plastic, aluminum, steel, etc. Now, the technological advancement created the need to take more and more from the world, not consumerism. That is our perspective. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now the final speaker of the affirmative team, please.
Okay, so to close up, there is no way we can say that extreme consumerism is not affecting the world, because it is. And the worst of it is that if we don't act quickly and leave aside the compulsiveness of buying and buying excessive quantities, the world will be suffering more and more. As we said, we are all to blame. Remember, we mentioned meat, fashion, and energy as the biggest issues, though there are a lot of others that should be mentioned here. To conclude, let's try to generate a more conscious environment to be able to live sustainably. Implementing a circular economy as opposed to the linear economy we normally live in will create the solution for you. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much. And the final speaker of the negative team, please.
As I said before, because everyone often looks at consumerism as an inherently negative thing, people forget to see the benefits of consumerism, and not to mention the dastardly effects that happen if we remove it. That's why my team does not agree that excessive consumerism is actually a bad thing. We think that consumerism is good and is needed in the economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank both teams for your hard work, great presentations, and well-chosen and well-thought-over arguments. I really do appreciate your hard work, guys. And I must say that I'm also impressed by the level of your English, that you can express your thoughts in such a fluent way. So bravo for both teams. And I think now it's time to ask our honorable judges to leave us for a while and go to separate room to discuss the final verdict, please. So is the breakout room ready for the judges?
On a while, thank you. Wait. Going to find Viola.
I'm very curious.
Right, I will start first and tell some things in general before I give the word to the other judges to say something on the students individually, and in the end I will tell you how many points you got. So first of all, thank you very much for participating in this session, and I think all students did a very wonderful job. There are some very slight things that are minor things, because for some of our judges, this is also the first time in this debate to be here. Some of you appear to read out texts. That's something that you should do in a debate, because we want a debate where people talk freely and do not read out texts. It's okay in this circumstances here, in this situation, because I'm not sure if it was the first time. So I'm going to say something very positive, because I was overwhelmed by how you did this. You presented many facts, and you had an English that had a quality that I miss a lot at my students for sure. And for people at your age to be here at an online forum with foreign teachers that you haven't seen before, this is astonishing how you dealt with the situation. And well, all of this, having all of this, it was a little difficult for us to find the proper answer how to judge this. fair. So maybe I give the word to other judges to say something on the individual people who did a very good job today. So maybe Katarina, you could say something on the individual students.
Yes. First of all, I completely agree with you and what you said about debate itself. It should be more about listening and rebuttaling to give your argument to something that you have heard, right? Not to read out your statements. Also, I had difficulties with listening to, for example, I think her name is Valentina, right? But it's just because your audio wasn't really okay. But the rest of you, for example, Nayaka, next time maybe you leave your hat on or not, or you should use less your hands. Your hands were something that I've kept seeing, and that was a bit, I don't know.
Distracting.
Well, I should listen to you more than to look at you. And okay, what else? Well, I think that you all did a very good job. I think Argentina wanted to express that environmental issue, or something to talk about the earth and global warming. And Indonesia was more concerned about consumerism and the fact if, for example, people don't buy things, what would happen to the economics, etc. And well, we've come up with the decision, and maybe now my colleague Bhavna from India would add something, and then we can tell you the most important thing today: who won the debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I totally agree with what my colleagues just said, my fellow judges. Debate is something which is spoken from the heart, something which you really agree on, and you would like to affirm that. So yes, I could see that Argentina were affirming to a lot about environment. It was a warning. They had some facts about sustainable development goals which could support their argument. And on the other hand, Indonesia, they had a lot of facts which tried to persuade us completely about consumerism. However, I totally agree with the Argentina that we must look at our needs and not go beyond our needs, because if we go beyond our needs, we might hamper our resources, which are already on the verge of depleting. But this debate was more about who were more assertive and who could persuade us more. So would you like to announce, Vincent?
Yes, I will. I'm going to go through the sheet and tell you the points, so I'm going to do this very quickly. I think we all agreed on who was the favorite here. Okay, I'm going to read that discuss. So there were different sections. The first section was on organization. Each section you could get 15 points. So in organization, Argentina had 11 points, Indonesia had 13. For argumentation, 8 points go to Argentina and Indonesia has 11 points. English expression and verbal techniques, 10 points to Argentina and 13 points to Indonesia. We weren't quite sure about the rebuttal because there was not truly a rebuttal here. So we let this out. No points for both teams. At total, that means 29 points to Argentina, and Indonesia has 37 points and is the winner here, which was also my favorite, because Indonesia put a lot of effort into convincing people. I really like this. Congratulations, Indonesia.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, of course. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to Auntie and her students. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I know it's not easy for them to find data and reference because in fact, we agree that it's negative anyhow.
Yes, thank you very much. And I would like to thank both teams and congratulate both teams on your hard work. Really, I'm proud of you that you've managed to present all your arguments. And I would like to thank our judges one more time for our great cooperation and for your time spent here with us. Thank you one more time. You've accepted my invitation here. And thanks a lot to all the teachers and students in the audience for being with us here. Hope we have learned a lot from each other and at the same time had a great time together. So thank you very much for participating. Hope to see you during our next meeting. And that's it. We've made it. The second debate meeting has just finished, unless you want to add something, please. Yes, Marcela, I can see you want to say something.
Yes, of course. Well, of course, thank you very much for the possibility that we had in participating. And of course, I do want to congratulate Indonesia. They have done a good job in trying to prove or trying to support a statement which is very difficult to prove in the world nowadays. So I really appreciate the effort they have done. On the other side, we found it easy to support our view because, of course, consumerism, in our view, affects the world negatively. So it was simpler to find the facts, of course. So that's why I really appreciate the effort that Indonesia made in trying to find their solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Vincent, go ahead.
Yes, let me just clarify that the result does not resemble the judge's opinion on how consumerism affects
That's
the world.
True.
But let me just add one thing. I think
know,
both teams
Vincent,
did
I
a
know
very
that
great
it's
job, and it was very, and it was very difficult for us to figure out who won this time because both did a very good job. Seriously, it was amazing to see how your students put so much effort into it. Really, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your great job, and I do understand it was not easy to come up with the verdict, really, because I myself would have a problem to choose. Thank you very much. Yes, Marcela? Okay. So, I thought you wanted to add something. So anybody else would like to...
No, it was... I just know that it's not connected with the judge's view. I understood that, but I was really impressed by the way that Indonesia was able to support their views.
Yes. Thank you very much. So anybody would like to
That only proves that we were righteous.
Yes.
No prejudice. No prejudice. Okay.
Yeah, Katerina, I agree. And thank you, Bafna, Katerina.
Thank you, Joanna. And Violetta and others, the audience too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Wonderful job.